Well, hello everyone. Welcome to Adding It All Up. Thank you so much for being patient with me. Here, I'm gonna end this meeting that I'm on Zoom right now. I just wanted to say hi and pop on here. I know you guys have not seen me in a week. If you do not know, I run 2 CPA firms and I also have some multifamily units that we run for real estate. So 17th being the deadline, everyone and their brother decided to show up last week on Monday with their tax returns. So I got no filming done. So I apologize to our debt budget journeys people that are on here, my peeps. I could not get the filming in last week at all. I was literally working 16, 18-hour days trying to get tax returns done Monday all the way through the next Monday. And that's just because people were late. So be nice to your tax preparers. We have been through a rough season. So things will be a little bit different next year, but that's okay. So I wanted to talk to you about my how. That is where I had left off at, and I will go ahead and do the next one here in a couple days. But I wanted to talk about how did I actually start getting budget and what my method is. So my method that I use to budget, guys, I seriously use the Budget Mom. And this year, since she is not doing her budget book, I am creating my own, which I have. So how do I budget? How do I actually, figure out what to do? This is not an easy thing. My income changes a lot. I have variable income for the most part. I get paid every other week a salary, but then, it goes up and down based upon the business needs. I also I have side hustles, just like everyone else out here in YouTube world, and normal world, right? So I have a side hustle for my side hustle. And so those monies come in here and there. So how do I budget? Guys, this is what you need. A pen and a piece of paper. That's it. That's all you need. It is simple, but not simple, right? So let's say you have $1,000. Okay, that was your income. How I tell people to budget is you need to get a good 30 days underneath of you. Why? 30 days will tell you how much money you spend on what I call the 4 walls. It would be your housing, your automobiles, your food, and your health. So those 4 things is a monthly grind, right? Your housing, your mortgage comes up once a month, or your rent comes up once a month. Your utilities, whether you're on budget or you're not on budget, they come up once a month. Some of them are bi-monthly. Here in Indiana, I have a bi-monthly. So weird. NIPSCO is bi-monthly during the summer for my gas, and then it's monthly during the winter because we use more. Your electric can be monthly, it can be bi-monthly. It depends on how you set it up. You can be on a budget, you cannot be on a budget and just pay your total. So you kind of know for your house, what I would call your homestead, you kind of know what's going to come in, what's going to go out. You should have like a rough guesstimate of what that should be. It's hard when you first start budgeting because how you budget is difficult, right? And it shouldn't be, but listen, I do budgeting for clients. I do budgeting for all these other people. But when it comes to my own budget, I'm like the worst person. So I always joke that my budget has lots of grace in it because there's always something that I do wrong. And if you want someone to do it perfect, I'm not the person for you because I am not perfect. I overspend in my budget categories from time to time. I have emergencies just like everyone else does. And what's an emergency to me might not be emergency to somebody else. But if you have emergency every month, then that should be a budget line, right? Like that's a budget thing. For example, when we first started budgeting, I didn't take into consideration car maintenance, oil changes. That ended up being an emergency because I hadn't thought about, about every 3 months I have to get an oil change on my car. So that's the second thing. Do you have a car payment? Do you have car insurance? Is it on a monthly? Is it on a 6-month tier? Do you pay it annually? What do you have to do to save for the transportation? What's your gas costs? Everyone's talking about gas costs right now because it went up since last year, right? Substantially. Yes, it's coming down, but it's still high from where it was. So your costs have gone up with inflation. So that's gone up. Your insurance rates have gone up. Some people's insurance rates have gone down, but others have gone up. There is, for the car, also maintenance. So do you maintain your car? Do you not maintain your car? If you have your car paid off, do you have a sinking fund? These are all questions you need to ask yourself. And then you get to groceries. How much do we spend a week on groceries? Do you know how much you spend a week on groceries? Do you know how much you spend on it out to eat? See, these are all things that this can take care of. So you don't need to go buy the Budget Mom. You don't even need to go buy any of these fancy dancy things out there. Literally, you can get $1 from the dollar store, or even like the 39-cent composition books that they have sometimes at Walmart when they're on clearance after the school. That works too. But you do need to know where every dollar is going. I have a saying, if your dollar's just sitting in limbo, it's going to get sucked out of your wallet before you know it, because it's going to decide where it wants to go. So I always say I want to be in control of where my dollar goes, not the other way around. So I try to budget certain things cash envelopes, certain things not. Now my groceries, I cash envelope it. The gas, I do a card. My card that I do, Gas Buddy, gives me some money off, right, when I use it. But I still keep track of how much I'm spending in gas a week, every other week, every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, every 4 weeks. And I do look back at a monthly and see, was I over budget? Was I under budget? And you can kind of figure it out, because when inflation kind of hit it was the gas that hit me the first, and then groceries. I noticed, hold on one second, I gotta sneeze. Love fall. I noticed at first that my gas bill was going up. Then I noticed my grocery bill was going up. Then I noticed that my utilities were going up. So even though I had this great rate for my house, everything else was going up. So guys, it's hard. It's not easy. But your first method should be is, where is my money going? If you can tell where your money is going, then it's easier to tell it where it needs to go and how it needs to be spent. That's the first thing you need to do. And then I say 4 walls, and then medical. Of course, when I was younger, it depends on what phase of life you're in. So when I was younger, I didn't spend as much on medical. Now that I'm getting older, I have to go to the doctor more. They have more testing for me to do. There's more, the more testing you have to do with, mammograms and certain things that you have to just go in and get done, because you are part of the aging population. Oh, that sounds so horrible. But you have to do that. So there are just certain things that you have to do. So we put aside $100 a week for both me and my husband for medical. That's for prescriptions. It's any kind of, my husband is a klutzy man. We have to get Band-Aids all the time. You have no idea. We have Band-Aids and ointments, for when he falls and stuff like that. So that's always important. Plus, it's always good to have first aid on hand. And then of course, there's all kinds of different things with that. So, and then if you have to pay for your medical insurance, that should be part of it too, right? So that can be part of your 4 walls. So groceries, medical, transportation, and house. Okay. Then you have other things, bills that occur. So I have a couple subscription boxes for my dogs. Yes, I love my dogs. They're like my children. So my 2 little buddies, I have a bark box that we subscribe to because I will tell you, they are the only things that my dogs, they got the super chewer. So great. I don't have to worry about them like chewing them up right away. I probably cancel that box at this point because they have so much toys. They have more toys than I have. So that's good. So they have stuff to keep them occupied sometimes. So I have that. So I know that every first of the month, $41.35 come out. So for my doggies. Also for my dogs, since we don't carry health insurance, pet insurance on the dogs, since they are smaller dogs. This is the first time I've ever had to take my dogs to the vet this much. Crazy. I've always had mutts. But my husband wanted these dogs, so we got some dogs. So I actually budget $300 a month for the dogs. That is their food. That is any kind of vet visit. And my little Felipe, he's got allergies, just like his mama. But he has skin issues. So my poor dog, right? Of course I'm going to take care of him. He's like my baby. So I make sure that he has his Apoquil. I make sure he gets a shot, every once in a while. We give him probiotics, just like me. So those are all things that I budget for, right? You have to budget for them, because if you don't budget for them, you don't tell your money where it goes. Your money's going to tell you, right? So we budget for those things. Then the other thing is I'm paying off debt. You guys know I'm in a season of paying off debt. So I have literally scrimped everything down to, if it's not going into the debt pile, it's not going there. Now, don't get me wrong. We still have Halloween coming. I got a little bit of a savings on that, $50. That's all I need for candy and a couple things, right? If there's any money left over, it's going 100% to my debt. I save for Christmas, my favorite holiday besides Thanksgiving. And both of those are right in a row. So I save for Black Friday, because there are certain things that I get on Black Friday that I don't get throughout the rest of the year. And some people even say, Sarah, I use it for Amazon Prime Day, which was just this last week. Well, great. If you have a budget or a sinking fund for that, then you have the money. Because we all know when's Christmas? Oh yeah, December 25th. Does it ever change? Is it ever a different day? So I love it when people say, oh, Christmas came so fast. I didn't have any money for it. Really? Because it's the same year for the last however many years I've been on this earth. It's been the same day every single year. So if you can do one thing, and if that one thing is to save for some Christmas gifts if you want, if you don't want to, that's fine too. I'm big about experiences. So I save my money for experiences. We go and we get a tree. We go and we do experiences during Christmas. Me and my husband do. We travel. We travel with our kid. We travel to our kid. We travel to go see family. So that's all part of the money that I'm saving. So I know that I have the money and I don't have to put it on a credit card and then be like, oh, it's January. I didn't know Christmas came this year. And I'm dwindling, just completely drowning in debt, right? Because I just, because you just swipe. So those are things that I kind of look for. Those are things I kind of try to do. And 4th of July is another big holiday I love. I love fireworks. So I have a $300 firework budget. I think it's going to have to go up though next year for inflation. But I haven't bought fireworks in 2 years. So I still have the same $300 sitting there when I get a chance to go to Boomtown, which is down in Missouri. That's really, really cool. And I really like going there. And if you have never checked it out, it's awesome. It has all these fireworks. So cool. If you're a firework freak like me. So we do those things. And I mean, that's my method. And I'm a zero-based budgeter. So what does that mean? That means that this $1,000, if I got $1,000 in, I should not have one penny not accounted for. Oh, but Sarah, I had $50 left over. Yeah. Did you put it in your emergency savings? You're designating it where it goes. Our budget is run so tight that if my husband goes uses the debit card and it wasn't for something that we said it was for, I'm losing my lid, right? Like, I'm like, we have no extra cash in there. Every dollar has a name. Every dollar has a job. So that's my method. That's my how. If you guys have any questions, feel free to hit me up. Again, I apologize that this is late, but there was just nothing I could do about with work. So I am back full time. I am getting this. I love this YouTube life. I really do. I love teaching people things. So if I can teach someone something that will help them today, then my job is done. But until then, sign up, like, subscribe, and hit an emoji. Tell me what's your favorite part of budgeting, if you have a favorite part. And if you don't, just leave a black heart. Or leave I don't know, just leave something like the little grave thing that you don't like budgeting at all. I'm not a huge fan most of the times either, guys, and I'm an accountant. So it's okay. It's okay not to like it. But the results is what everybody loves. So I will tell you, if you keep doing it, slow and steady, tortoise in the hare, be the tortoise. All right. Have a great night, guys. Bye.